All right, welcome to NFL End Zone, the brand new talkSPORT YouTube NFL channel, and of course, live across the talkSPORT network. We've got games this week, including the Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Ravens, the kickoff live on talkSPORT on Thursday night, and on Sunday night live on talkSPORT 2 at 6 p.m, the Jacksonville Jaguars take on the Miami Dolphins. I'm delighted to say that as we launch this new channel, we're still able to bring a bit of our sense of Britishness to it, because we are speaking with, right now, the most successful Welshman in NFL history, and I think we can call you that, right? Delighted to say Louis-Rees Zammit's with us. How are you doing, Louis?
I'm very good.
Talk to us a little bit about how this first week in Jacksonville's gone since you signed, and the kind of first impressions of being in that beautiful, humid Florida weather.
Oh, it's been amazing. I signed on the day I signed. I trained, which is brilliant. Got straight into it. Got stuck into the playbook, and yeah, that's the best thing I can do, because I've got to learn it all from the start again. But at the same time, there's a lot that carries on. So I'm excited to see what happens this year.
How much of a challenge has that been for the first time you've gone to a new team, all new language, all new offense? Like, it always amazes me, guys who kind of sit towards the end of rosters, practice squads, who can sometimes move around the league so much, just how much information they have to take in and retain is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a lot. But I'm very determined to learn as quick as possible and try and get on the field ultimately. I've been training. I've had 3 training sessions now, and it's going really well. It's just about me learning the playbook and being comfortable with being able to hear plays and execute. So it's obviously tough going from one team to another in terms of learning a whole new playbook, but at the same time there's a lot that transfers, and it's just about learning it as quick as possible and being able to execute.
Talk to us a little bit about that process for people who maybe back at home in the UK who don't know, like, how brutal the NFL can be. Talk us a little bit about that process of finding out you'd been cut, and that kind of 3 or 4 days of uncertainty before you land in Jacksonville.
Yeah, so it was last Tuesday. They had their final roster cuts, every team in the league, and unfortunately I got cut from the Kansas City Chiefs. And then there's a 24-hour period of waivers, and when that finishes, you're basically a free agent to sign with any team. And I'm very thankful to Jacksonville Jaguars for allowing me this opportunity, and now I'm here. I'm diving deep into the playbook and trying to learn as much as I can. Obviously, completely different state to what I was living in, but fortunately, I've been coming to Florida since a little boy. So I've always enjoyed the weather, which is great.
Were there ever conversations with the Chiefs about their practice squad or any other teams, or Jacksonville always at the top of that list?
I think it's more of where I feel comfortable playing, and there was obviously question marks for positions and all that kind of stuff. I'm obviously playing wide receiver here, which has been amazing, and it's completely different to what I was doing at the Chiefs. But I'm very thankful for them for giving me my first opportunity and first taste at the NFL. Going into OTAs and training camp, I learned so much from them, and that was amazing. But unfortunately, that didn't work out, and now I'm here, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm very positive, and I just can't wait to get started, really.
For you, and this is, I'm intrigued as to, with your background, with your rugby history, and the fact that you've made this huge career decision, this huge move to try something completely new and completely different. For you, when that call comes, when you're going to be cut, when you know that you've got to go out into that market and find potentially a new team, do you approach that quite calmly? Do you approach that in a way that, because everything else that you've got behind you, in theory, that you can fall back on, are you able to really take your time with a decision like that? Because I think for a lot of people, it's like you get that first call, you get a contract offer, bang, you go head into that city.
Yeah, my thought process was very calm, and this is the first time I played this sport, so I haven't got massive expectations in making a 53 straight away. There's always a plan in my head that I know I can make it in this sport. It's just about learning as quick as I can and being able to execute the jobs that I have and that I need to do. So, Obviously when I got cut, it wasn't great, but at the same time, I got to stay calm and then I got an agent that talks to teams and stuff, and Jacksonville was definitely the best place for me, and then we came here and I signed and I came straight to training. So it wasn't about being stressed and stuff. Obviously rugby is there, but at the same time, I want to make this dream come true, and thankfully I've got another opportunity to do that.
How much of a bonus is it that you're going to get to come over to the UK for 2 games this year as well?
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm so happy about that, because I wouldn't have been able to come home until like next year. So I'm very happy to go to London, and so are all the boys here. They're absolutely buzzing, and we got 2 games there, and I'm gonna enjoy it very much, and finally get back to seeing some British people.
Are we going to see a whole decampment from Penarth coming down the M4 and heading into London, into North London? Should we get ready for that invasion?
Yeah, I think you'll see a fair few Welsh people there. A lot of fans, which will be great.
Talk to us a bit about that move from running back to wide receiver, and how you found adapting to that and having to change what your role is.
Yeah, in my eyes, it's been amazing. I've always wanted to play wide receiver. With my speed and strength, I think it's the best position for me. And this is kind of the first time, training at wide receiver and giving it a real shot. Obviously I was playing running back at Kansas City, and maybe that just didn't work out for me, and maybe that wasn't the right position for me. But I feel really comfortable at wide receiver, and I'm trying to learn the game as much as possible, and doing it out wide is great.
I think learning a route tree might be one of the hardest things to do in the NFL. But at the same time, if you offered me that over having to stay in and pass block, I think I'm taking the route tree every time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I prefer as well. So I think we'd be the same. I mean, the route tree, yeah, there's a lot of routes in this playbook, but at the same time, they've got concepts and formations and everything, which some of it transfers from team to team, which is great. Some of it is new, so it's just about learning it as quick as I can.
What do you think you most took away from your time in Kansas City? What were the biggest lessons that you learned, and the biggest things you can bring into what you're taking to Jacksonville?
I mean, as I said earlier, it was the first time I've really ever trained properly for American football. The first time I've ever played was in Jacksonville, in that stadium right opposite us. I think it's just about learning the game, and how they allowed me to learn it so quick. The coaches there, the players, everyone was helping me non-stop to learn the game, because it's quite hard to learn over 3 months the whole game of football. So I'd say just learning it, and then it just prepared me to come here and obviously change positions. But at the same time, I've learned a lot at Kansas City in terms of actually diving deep into the game of football. That's going to allow me to perform.
I'm intrigued in the difference in approach, because we heard Shad Khan talking a bit about his disappointment with last season in the last kind of 24 hours, and how there's a bit of pressure on this team now in Jacksonville to show the talent they've clearly got to turn that into a playoff berth, into wins, etc. But when you're in Kansas City and you're out there on the training field with Andy Reid, one of the greatest coaches of all time, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, 3-time Super Bowl winners, you're a guy who's come from top-level sport. You've played in Six Nations winning sides and scored tries at World Cups. But is there a certain aura around that team, around the way that they approach things, that gave you a different feeling to like anything you've had before, or any impression you got from them that like there's a way that they put these things together to go out and win?
Oh, I mean, a lot of it is to do with confidence. Obviously, winning the Super Bowl back-to-back is going to give you amazing confidence and a lot of belief, in your plays, and that's what Kansas City have got at the minute. They've got a lot of belief and a lot of confidence, but we've got it here as well. I mean, we had a very good start to the year last year. Obviously, it dipped off towards the end, but we know we've got it in us. So it's just about executing the plays properly and stuff like that. So hopefully this year we go on to do great things, and playoffs is definitely something that we can achieve. It's just about being fully into the game plan, you know, analysing our opposition every week, being fully focused on the job is the biggest thing, and staying mentally in it, because it's a long season. Although it feels short, you know, there's a lot of work that goes into it. You know, we started OTAs in you know, April, and now the season's just come. So you know, it's going to be a great season, and you know, we're going to concentrate on what we've got to concentrate on, and see where it goes.
Is there anyone you've really interacted with in your time in Jacksonville now? Anyone who, I don't want to say taking you under their wing, but giving you great advice? Is there anyone who's really kind of got in your ear early doors and given you a bit of a push in the direction they feel you need to go? I
mean, I've only been here 4 days, so
I know how these guys work, Lewis. They're on it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get to know everyone, all my teammates, all the coaches. You know, how they want to play. Obviously, it's going to be new to me, but you know, I've got to try and the main thing for me is trying to learn this playbook as quick as I can to allow me the opportunities on the field. And you know, whether that's learning from coaches or the players, you know, next to me, that's the biggest thing that I'm trying to work on. And yeah, as I said, the quicker I can learn that, the more chance I got of being on the field.
You had much time to pick the brains of any of those players, any of the wide receivers, anyone like, you know, Trevor or Mac Jones, guys who've been in the league who know what they're doing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we have a lot of meetings every day, so you know, being able to just be around them and hear their thoughts and see what they see to allow us to get better is what I need to do and look out for. So you know, those players are unbelievable, as you said. So yeah, I'm just excited to, you know, I've only been here 4 days and I've learned a lot. So you know, I can't wait for the season to start and see what happens.
And look, did anyone send you off from the other end with any advice? I'm intrigued. Like, you know, is there anything you heard from those leaders, the Andy Reeds, the Patch Mahomes, the people I mentioned, that really you're carrying with you, and this is a piece of advice that can really take you forward?
Yeah, I mean, I had so many messages from all of them, you know, wishing me luck and just, I mean, I've been playing the game for 3 months. You know, they just said stick at it and keep working on what you can work on, and then eventually everything will work out. So you know, obviously they didn't know that I was going to change positions and stuff. So in terms of that advice, then probably not. But it's more, you know, I'm a very hard worker, and you know, I really want this. So my determination is there. It's just about learning it as quick as I can, and then getting the opportunity from there.
And look, you talk about opportunity, you talk about being realistic, you talk about the fact that, you know, you were realistic about not getting on a 53 and working your way up. What is the goal this season? Do you hope to take any snaps? Do you hope to get out there on special teams? Or is it just if I can get to the end of the year and keep proving myself?
I mean, I'd love to take every snap I could, but that's not up to me. I've got to work on being a receiver, being a solid receiver, being trustworthy, being able to learn the playbook, know it inside out, and being someone that, you know, coaches can look at me and rely on me. So it's going to take time, no doubt. You know, moving to another team is difficult, but you know, I'm going to learn this playbook as quick as I can, and then give the coaches the reason to put me on the field. And I don't know when that's going to be, but you know, I'm going to work as hard as I can to make that happen.
And look, get catching balls. That's what every receiver tells me. If you catch 100 balls from a jug, if you catch 200 balls from a jug every day, get those hands, because you don't want that one opportunity to come and that ball to slip out of your hands. That's the biggest bit of advice I think I've ever heard from a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I've been catching as many balls as I can now I'm at receiver, so don't worry about that
one. Brilliant. Look, Lewis, we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join us. Absolutely sensational stuff. We wish you the best, and we can't wait to see you in 5 or 6 weeks' time.